20-second summary of what the next half hour looks like. For those of you that have been here before, welcome back to another one. I'm really happy to see you. And if you're here for the first time, welcome to the channel. I'm really happy to see you as well. And I kind of laugh when I say that because we all know I can't see you, but I know that you're there, and that's what counts. I'm honored that you chose to click on a cutting board video that's nearly half an hour long. You might be asking yourself, why is it half an hour long? I know I would be if I saw a thumbnail on YouTube of a cutting board that's 30 minutes long. And I'm gonna explain that in just a minute, but first I wanna let you know who I am. My name is Ryan, and I'm a woodworker based on Vancouver Island up here in Canada. And when it comes down to it, I just really enjoy working with wood, so much in fact that earlier this year in the spring of 2021, timestamp, I decided to leave my full-time day job behind to free up more time to be in the shop and to do more woodworking, and instead of just the evenings and weekends that I was spending out there. And what I've been doing for the last couple of years is building and selling mostly custom end grain cutting boards, and I added mostly in there because I have built the odd piece of furniture here and there. That table was definitely the most challenging project I've done to date. I shot everything. I've got a video on that coming up a little later on this month, so stay tuned for that. So what you're watching me do right now in this video is taking all the lumber that I grabbed from my stash for the board that you came here to watch me build, and I'm just putting it through the milling process. And since I've got so many bits and pieces, this process is going to go on for a few minutes, as is me talking. I put timestamps in the description below. If you want to get to a certain part of the video, feel free, go ahead, skip ahead. But I'm going to keep talking. So this board was a commission from a repeat client of mine who very kindly gave me full creative freedom on this project. We agreed on a size and the rest was up to me, and that's super exciting. I had a really good idea right from the get-go of what I was going to do. Not so clear on what it was going to look like in the end, but I knew the woods I wanted to use, I knew the process I was going to go through, and the end result was going to be the end result. And I guess that's the beauty of the creative freedom. You kind of just get what you get. And what I got was something that I was super happy with. And you know, I've built quite a few custom boards over the last couple of years, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think this one has moved into my #1 spot so far. With that being said, I'm going to get a little personal here while the milling process continues to go on in the background there. This is a pretty special moment in time, and I've got a few things I want to talk about. The first of which is, at the time of me recording this, my wife and I are expecting our first child to arrive at literally any moment. The whole time I've been editing and putting this video together, we've been hanging out at home, bags packed, ready to head to the hospital at the drop of a hat. And it's been a fun little game to see what's going to happen first, me getting this video done and up on the channel, or dropping everything I'm working on to head out the door. And I'm really looking forward to watching this in the future and reminiscing on the cozy and peaceful days we had at home leading up to our new adventure. And if me and my family from the future are watching this, I just want to say, hey, what's up, future family? Thank you for giving me the motivation to take the leap that I did this year, and for always being a constant source of inspiration to me. The life that you have now was but a vision at the time of this video being made, and it's that vision that drove your mother and I to make the choices and the decisions that we did in 2021 to create the life that we knew we wanted for us. Life tends to go by faster than one realizes, and I really think it's important to spend your time doing what you love with the ones you love. If you can nail those two things on the head, I believe everything else will fall into place, and I really do believe that. Alright, so why is this video half an hour long? Why are some of my other videos almost half an hour long? Well, a couple reasons, and I think the first reason is I am a completely amateur videographer, and I'm pretty sure I'm doing things backwards. I think, and I could be wrong, that the right way to make a movie is to first write a script, create a shot list, shoot those shots, and then organize it all together in a nice, neat little video. Instead, what I do is I get a build idea, get real excited about it, and then shoot absolutely everything, usually from 2 angles. Then I organize and edit all those clips together, and lastly I try to overlay subtitles and narration, which typically results in a longer than average video because I have a hard time cutting out footage that I filmed. And reason number 2 is we are living in a pretty crazy world right now. We've all got bits of information just whizzing past our heads faster than we can comprehend. Clickbait's the name of the game. Flashy colors, flashy titles, people's faces with shocked expressions on them, all designed to hook and draw us in. And what I hope to do with my woodworking videos is to provide perhaps a slight reprieve from all that. You know, you come into one of my videos, you know, you can just kind of kick back and relax, watch the detailed process of how I put what I'm putting together, and maybe learn something, maybe feel inspired to go build something of your own. But if nothing else, just a slight break from the craziness of it all. Because you see, the main reason that I did start this channel was to film my process, to share with others. When I first started making cutting boards back in the fall of 2019 and then into early 2020, and posting my work to Instagram, I started getting messages consistently from people asking if I've ever thought about filming my process, if I've ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, you know, because they'd love to learn how to do what I was doing. And I'd jokingly reply back and say, maybe one day, because at the time I was still working a full-time day job, and I just right away didn't think I had the time to do that. So I never really put any serious thought into it until earlier this spring. And so it was in the spring of this year, 2021, timestamp, and the decision to leave my day job that I started to seriously consider firing up a channel. One of my biggest excuses for not starting sooner was, again, I didn't have the time, but I had just freed up 40 hours a week, and I couldn't use that as an excuse anymore. So naturally I came up with another excuse, and I said, well, I just don't have the right equipment, which again is another silly excuse. People have done a lot more with a lot less than me, and one of my favorite quotes is from a Napoleon Hill book, and it goes along the lines of start with what you have and where you stand, and you'll acquire better tools along the way. I know that's not exactly how it goes, but something like that. Anyways, as you watch me, you will see that I don't have all the best tools. I mean, I have some nice tools and I like my tools, but they're not my dream tools. And you'll even notice that I don't even have all the tools. You're gonna see some scenes where you're like, this guy seriously needs a drum sander. Why doesn't he have a drum sander? Like, what is his deal? You should probably get a drum sander. Anyways, so I committed and I fumbled my way into the YouTube world at the same time that I left my day job behind, and at the same time that I moved into a much bigger shop. And those are what my first videos are. It's just me moving out of my old shop into my new shop. And after capturing that process, my next goal was to start giving out what people had been asking for the last couple of years on Instagram, and which was some videos on some of the 3D patterns that I build. And even though I really know nothing about filming and probably even less about teaching, my main focus was to give out as much information in as organized of a manner as I possibly could, with the intent to help others work through their own projects. Now, I knew beforehand that you can make a little bit of money off of YouTube, and I'd be lying if I said that wasn't in the back of my mind when I started my channel. But when I put out that first video back around the end of July, and I saw the criteria I had to meet to monetize my channel, it seemed like a mountain I had to climb. And like right away, I was like, I'm not even gonna worry about it. You know, it's gonna happen when it happens, and I don't think it's gonna happen until well into next year, 2022. So right now I'm just going to focus on just creating the best woodworking content I can around the projects that I've got on the go. But it's funny what happens when you decide not to focus on something, and I want to talk a little bit about my last video. So the video I put out before this one was how my process behind how I do the 3D zigzag. And I put probably 40 hours, like a full-time week worth of hours into just editing and putting that video together, with the intent to just try and make it as organized as possible and as helpful as possible to those that, you know, want to go and try and build that board. You know, I even wrote a blog that it's on my website right now that goes hand in hand with that video. So it's been about 10 days since I put that video out, and it's my #1 video already. I mean, I don't have a lot of videos out there, but it's #1. It's approaching 30,000 views at the time of recording this, which in the big picture of the YouTube world is nothing. 30,000 views is nothing to call home about. But in my world, it's a really big deal. And just like that, it propelled me to the criteria that I had to meet to monetize my channel. I hit the 1,000 subs, and I hit the 4,000 hours watch time. And just like that, I was getting an email from YouTube saying, you're eligible for monetization. Something I thought wouldn't happen for a really long time, like at least months away still. And again, like well into next year, 2022, happened just like that. So hitting that little milestone is such a big help, such a big motivator to me to continue down this path of building and filming the process behind what I build. And I think now is a really appropriate time to say thank you to you, the viewer. I make the videos and I put them out there, but they're not going to go anywhere if nobody watches them. And so it's the fact that you're here watching that video, you're watching this video, that is just such a huge support to me in this journey. So thank you. Thank you for every watch minute that you have given me in this channel so far. And if you decide to keep watching the stuff that I make, I thank you in advance for that. I take time very seriously. Once we spend time, we don't get it back. It's a limited resource. So for you to be here, spending your time watching stuff that I've made, that means a lot to me. And my main priority always will be, am I creating something that provides you the most amount of value that I think it possibly can? While I got you here, I figure I'll cover the rest of my bases before I sign off, turn the music up, and leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. If you aren't subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and right beside it is a little bell. If you click that bell, that's the notification bell. That'll let you know when my next video goes live. And right above those buttons, you have an option to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'd appreciate the thumbs up, but I'm also open to honest feedback, so go ahead, hit whichever one you feel is right. And lastly, beside those is the share button. If you find value in this video, please go ahead and share it with a friend. And if you do all those things, that will make the algorithm quite happy, and it will lift my content up to be seen by more people, which ultimately results in me being able to continue doing what I'm doing, but just a little bit easier. In my description below, I've got links to my Amazon shop to pretty much everything I use in this video. So if you see me using something that you think you might want to buy for your shop, just please go through those links. It's another small way that you can support me in building up this channel. I do earn a small commission on qualifying purchases through there, and every little bit helps. And if you have Instagram and you don't follow me, go on to Instagram and follow me. Although today, of all days, this is across the globe, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp has been down. It's crazy. Maybe we'll look back on this time and remember the great Facebook outage of 2021. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's a crazy world. If you have any questions or comments after everything I've said, please feel free to drop them below and I'll get back to you. With that, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to turn the music up, going to let the subtitles do their thing, and I wish you peace and happiness wherever you are in this crazy world of ours.